My name is Nasime Saps.
Let me ask you a question. Has anything ever happened to you that you couldn't explain? That made you feel sort of foolish when you tried to tell somebody about it? Well, if it has, you have plenty of company, as you'll soon see.
Is a lawyer. He says the Nova Scotia source legislation for the Don't Take a Hike proclamation is actually more draconian than the government is letting on. A 1-week hiking trip could, in theory, lead to $3.5 million in fines, $500,000 per day, and 3.5 years in jail, 6 months for each hiking day. And then he dug it up in case we didn't want to take his word for it. Restricted travel zone, where whenever deemed necessary for the protection of the woods. What does that even mean? The minister may at any time by proclamation set aside for any period of time a restricted travel zone in any area of woods. And so he doesn't make a distinction here, like public lands, your own land, upon which no person shall enter for the purpose of traveling, camping, fishing, picnicking, or any other purpose without a travel permit. A travel permit may be issued by the minister, a conservation officer, or another person authorized by the minister. Subsections 1 and 2, okay, do not apply to the owner or occupier of the woods or the servants, agents, or assigns thereof, conservation officers, surveyors, and any other person designated from time to time by order of the minister. A forest travel permit may be canceled or suspended at any time by the minister, a conservation officer, or any other person authorized by the minister. And this is the new legislation, effective 4 p.m. August 5th.
For most of us, hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits.
So effective today, new fines will range from $50,000 to $150,000. For a first offense, when a ticket is issued, fines will increase from $75 to $50,000. And imprisonment in default of payment will increase from 3 days to up to 6 months. For a subsequent offense, fines will increase from $150 to $75,000. Imprisonment for not paying will increase from 6 days to up to 6 months. Where there's a summons issued, a first offense, fines will increase from $500 to $50,000 to $100,000 range, and imprisonment will increase from up to 3 months to up to 1 year. For a subsequent offense, fines increase from a minimum of $1,000 to $75,000 to $150,000, and imprisonment in default will be increased from up to 3 months from up to 1 year. It's very clear that these penalties for violating the regulations needed to be higher, and everyone needs to take this very seriously. And I think it's very clear that the size of the increases and the penalties, including imprisonment, that we mean business, and we want people to listen and take this seriously.
Because this is really COVID lockdowns just repackaged as a climate lockdown. And of course, for your safety and for the well-being of all, that is what these things are being done under the guise of. And I think this just gives so many people who, even though it was 4 or 5 years ago, the COVID restrictions and the lockdowns and the stay-at-home orders and the various gathering restrictions, this, I think, gives people a lot of PTSD. Just seeing these things come back out, but under the guise of protecting the forest from fires, I guess.
I mean, it's crazy because we know that a lot of these fires are started by arson. Yes. And so banning hikers from the woods, they aren't the arsonists. The arsonists are going to do the arson either way. I just think this is, governments love the taste of power. And we knew that they wouldn't want to just forget all the lessons they learned during COVID. You can get people to snitch on other people. You can ban people from traveling. You can control them and everything that they do and lock them indoors. And here we are doing it all over again, just different reason.
Well, and this veteran has a fun take, Jeff Evely.
Yeah.
He took to X to post a little, I don't know if we'll play all of it, but it's about a 2.5 minute video breaking down the woods ban because it causes fire.
Oh
And
my
he says,
God.
here's how it works.
They put up caution tape.
Hey everybody, Jeff Evely here. I'm in Petersfield Provincial Park in the most tyrannical province of Canada, which is Nova Scotia, with my fuzzy friend Axel, where we walk pretty much every single morning. And here you can see that this area is taped off because that trail is the woods. But this area is not taped off because that's not the woods. This area is taped off because that's the woods, and there is a sign here that says trail closed due to extreme fire hazard. So that is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods.
Exactly.
This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods.
Oh my gosh.
This
So yeah, it's
area
basically
on.
just 2.5 minutes of pointing out the absolute nonsensical nature of this ridiculous new legislation.
And one of the ways that he wants people to believe is that it's perfectly okay and fine to force people, berate people, and control people in what they do and how they think. Forcing people to do things they don't want to do, forcing people to think things that they don't want to think, forcing people to partake in things that they don't want to partake. That's the devil. And the devil wants other people to believe that it's perfectly okay for people to force other people to do things. Force it. So let's just force everything. Let's just force people to do it. Let's just, because we have the right to do it. So and that's the lie that they believe. They believe that they can force people to do things because they have the right to force people to do things. And no one has the right to force anyone to do anything. No one has that right to force it. No one has the right to do that. But they say that we have the right to do it because if you don't do what we're forcing you to do, we're going to punish you. You are going to be punished. That's where our right comes to force you to do things, is because we're going to punish you. And so if you don't do what we are forcing you to do, because it's our right to force you, then you're going to suffer the consequences and be punished, and you're going to be traumatized, and you're going to be hurt, and you're going to be everything else, and then that's it. And God is blessing that. God is going to bless that. God is going to bless people that are like that. No, he's not. That's not God's character. God doesn't bless people that are going to be partaking in things of that kind of nature. That's cursed stuff, to be doing things like that. Every time a person forces somebody else to do something that is against their will that they have, so if a person comes along, or a group of people come along and force you to do something that you don't want to do, that is against your will, and they say, if you don't do it, we're going to hurt you, that's demonic. 100% demonic. And I don't care what the name of the group of people is, the name of the individual people in that group, the name of whoever it is, it's demonic. It's demonic. God never said for people or a group of people to run around, get together, and force another group of people to do things. Where did God say that? He didn't say it. God never said to do that. People do it. The devil said to do that. People say to do that. The devil says it's okay to do that. People say it's okay to do that. And so, where's the argument? The argument that they say is, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, render unto God that which is God's. Well, guess what? God made everything. God owns everything. Caesar doesn't own anything, O-W-N. And so therefore, because Caesar owns nothing, you don't owe him nothing. You don't need to render anything to Caesar because he doesn't own nothing. God made everything. And so where does Caesar is like a little speck. God is the big one. God is the owner. God is the creator. God owns everything. What does Caesar own? Nothing. Nothing. And so I'm not going to render nothing to Caesar because he doesn't own nothing. Because God owns everything. So render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, which is render unto a speck nothingness, and render unto God that which is God. Render unto the all-powerful, most infinite person, forever creator, that which is his, which is everything of yours. And so that's how I look at it. Render unto the speck nothing, because it's a speck. Render unto God, the most powerful, the most all-knowing, all-powerful, all-everything, good, that which is God's, which is everything of yours. So I'm going to render unto God my all, and I'm going to render unto the speck not even a thing. And so there you go. Right there. Right there. So that's it. I mean, what else? Oh yeah, Romans 13. Well, I already firmly believe that the Bible has been tampered with, been messed with, because check it out. Why do I believe that the Bible has been tampered with and messed with? Because in 2 parts of the Bible, it says that if anyone changes, adds to, or takes away the words from this book, he's cursed. Why would there be a warning about that? You obviously know human nature that people do look at the warning and they do the opposite automatically. And so because it says that anyone that adds to, takes away, or changes anything is cursed, then you know that people have done it already in the past. That's why I believe that the Bible has already been tampered with, because the Bible is talking about it. We're going to lock you up. If you don't do every single thing we say, even if the things that we say go against your own self-interest, we're going to kill you. We're going to take everything you have away from you. We're going to take your house away. We're going to take your children away. We're going to take all of your money away. We're going to take away every single thing you have if you don't do what we say, even if it goes against your own well-being. Even if what we say includes hurt in yourself or hurt in your family, if you don't do it, we're going to kill you. And so God is going to bless that kind of thing? No. That's a very demonic thing. That's a very demonic thing. Because that's what every single devil is a coward. Satan is a coward. The fallen angels are cowards. The demons are cowards. They're not brave. Satan isn't brave. The fallen angels aren't brave. They're not courageous. Demons aren't brave. Demons aren't courageous. Satan, the fallen angels, the demons, they're cowards.